Right now at noon, vowing to fight on. New comments from the former president on his guilty verdict as he continues his White House run. Plus, a third human case of bird flu tied to dairy cattle is confirmed. What the CDC is saying about their condition. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at noon on your Friday. I'm Leah Lynchide in for Josh. Right now, President Biden is expected to deliver remarks on the Middle East any moment now. CBS plans to have a special report on those remarks. We'll be taking them when they happen, so stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, we begin this afternoon with continuing coverage of former President Donald Trump and the guilty verdict in his hush money trial. You're taking a live look right now at New York City, where the jury had delivered that verdict late yesterday. We're outside of Trump Tower at this hour. The former president, now a convicted felon, is insisting he did nothing wrong. Michael George reports from outside Trump Tower, where the presumptive GOP presidential nominee just spoke.
Donald Trump is vowing to fight on, a day after a guilty verdict made him the first former president and presumptive Republican presidential nominee to be a convicted felon.
This is a scam. There's a rigged trial. It shouldn't have been in that venue. We shouldn't have had that judge.
12 Manhattan jurors deliberating for more than 11 hours over 2 days found Trump guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records related to a payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election to keep her quiet about an alleged sexual encounter.
The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
Trump's lawyer Todd Blanche said the trial was flawed from the start.
Because of everything around the lead up to this trial, it made it very difficult for the jury to evaluate the evidence kind of independent of what they knew coming in.
Trump could face prison time, but many legal experts say that's unlikely.
I don't see personally him being sentenced to prison time. I personally think there will be heavy fines and some sort of heavy probation.
Sentencing is set for July 11th, just days before the Republican National Convention. An early voter reaction appears split along party lines.
I don't think he got a fair trial.
I don't think it changed how I would vote in November.
Boo-hoo. I'm so sorry, Trump supporters. We're losing, so do you.
The Trump campaign says it raised nearly $35 million in the hours following the verdict. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
If Donald Trump does become president again, he can't give himself a pardon in this case because it's a New York state conviction, not a federal one. Meanwhile, President Biden hasn't commented directly on the case or the verdict, but in a post to the social media platform X shortly after the ruling, the president said, quote, "There's only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box." More reaction now from Wisconsin's elected officials. Republican Senator Ron Johnson posting on X saying in part, quote, "How can this not be considered the most egregious example of election interference?" Now, people here in Wisconsin will become some of the most influential voters this election. Both the Trump and Biden campaigns are focused heavily on our swing state. Our crews spoke to 2 voters getting their thoughts on Trump's trial and how a guilty verdict could impact their vote.
I think we're just making history. Every year in America, something's new. And I think he should be charged for everything he's done, and hopefully he goes to jail.
I'm not sure Trump got a fair trial, right? I'm just not happy with the way the last 4 years have gone. So I'm going to vote for Trump. If he's a nominee, I'm going to vote for Trump. And I'm not a huge pro-Trump guy. I'm not an anti-Trump guy.
Both of the voters we just heard from say they're unhappy with both presidential candidates. Now, a reminder, this is just one of 4 cases Trump is currently involved in. He also faces charges in the classified documents case, 40 counts of mishandling sensitive government records. And there's the 2020 election case in which Trump is charged with 4 counts for an alleged plot to subvert the transfer of power. And there's the Georgia election case in which Trump and 18 of his allies are charged with scheming to overturn that state's 2020 presidential election results. The trials for those cases are not expected to start before the election. We will, of course, continue to follow up on the fallout from this verdict. You can follow along with all of our coverage right here on News 3 Now or over on our free mobile app, channel3000.com. More national news now. The Biden administration is expected to roll out a sweeping executive action on the border. That's according to 2 sources familiar with the discussions. The executive action will reportedly dramatically limit migrants' ability to seek asylum at the border with Mexico. Part of the strategy here is designed to give President Biden the upper hand over his opponent, Donald Trump. The exact timing for this announcement isn't clear yet. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden is in Wisconsin today. The White House says she'll be visiting Milwaukee for a speech. Our affiliate there is reporting that Biden will speak at the Fiesta Italiana opening ceremonies at the Aurora Pavilion in that city around 6 tonight. It's 12:05 on your Friday, another quiet afternoon weather-wise. First Warn meteorologist Jacob Montesano has your certified most accurate forecast. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Leah, it's been a very nice quiet period the last couple of days. That's going to continue today. And although we do have some rain over the weekend, we aren't expecting severe weather until next work week. Looking at the current conditions, 75 degrees, so it definitely is warmer. Definitely feels a little bit warm right now. South wind at 14 miles per hour, so a little bit breezy. But with the temperatures being warm, the breeze is actually making it feel a little bit more comfortable. As we take a look at the temperatures across the region, a few locations are getting close to the 80s, and it wouldn't surprise me if we do see 80s before the day is over. Now, the one reason we may not get to the 80s is because we are going to see some clouds develop in the later afternoon and evening, but right now still seeing pretty much complete sunshine. Now, current radar is also fairly dry. There are some showers out in Iowa and Minnesota, but they're going to stay to the west of our area for most of the day. Far western skies may see some showers during the evening, but otherwise we're not going to see the rainfall until closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. So for this afternoon, high temperatures will be in the middle to upper 70s, but because of that cloud cover, they're not going to rise too much more unless we do see the sunshine last a little bit longer than anticipated. So for the evening, temperatures will be in the 70s, dropping into the 60s, but we are going to see cloud cover during that time, and then the rain will move in overnight. So this is 7 p.m. this evening. Taking a look at the overnight forecast, the first half of the night will be dry, but then as we get closer to sunrise, we'll see some showers roll into our area with widespread light rain during the morning. Could see some pockets of moderate rain, but for the most part, we're not expecting any thunderstorm activity. But we are expecting thunderstorms next week. I'll talk more in detail about that and give you your full weekend forecast coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob Montesano, thank you very much. It's 12:07 now. A teen girl is recovering after a minivan hit her in the village of Cambridge. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says the 17-year-old was crossing the street in a crosswalk just after 5 last evening when the driver of the van apparently failed to yield. She was hurt and severely, but is expected to survive. The driver did stop to help her after the crash. Deputies cited that driver for failure to yield to a pedestrian, causing great bodily harm. Today marks 7 years since the deadly explosion at Didion Milling in Cambria. The blast killed 5 people and injured more than a dozen others. An investigation found the mill's operations created hazards that led to the explosion and that the tragedy could have been prevented if Didion had followed the proper safety protocols. For the first time, the CDC confirming a person infected with bird flu in the U.S. has acute respiratory symptoms. It's the 3rd human case now tied to dairy cattle and the 2nd case in a dairy farm worker in Michigan. Federal health officials say the latest person with this virus had direct exposure to the infected cattle. They say there's still no evidence of human-to-human spread here, but CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Grounder says that possibility can't be ruled out.
We are not aware of any human-to-human cases ever having occurred, but that is precisely how you get the next epidemic or pandemic, is if the virus mutates, adapts to humans, where it can spread human-to-human.
While farm workers near cattle are most at risk, the CDC says the general public's risk of getting the bird flu is pretty low. All right, still ahead for us this afternoon, how some lucky flyers can get a free upgrade to premium class this summer. Plus, a cyber criminal group claims to have stolen the personal data of millions from Ticketmaster.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon, moving forward. Right now, pet dander, skin cells, and dirt are settling deep into your carpet fibers. Stanley Steamer removes the dirt you see and the dirt you don't. Your carpets aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
You think Atlanta's point guard is good for 20 tonight?
No question. You hear he got name dropped on that new song? He feeling himself for sure.
Ever since that track drop, he been on fire.
The hook literally says his name 8 times in a row. He might go for 30.
With that much hype, I'd lock it in. But that's just me.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
From midnight tweets to drinking bleach to tear-gassing citizens and staging a photo op, we knew Trump was out of control when he was president. Then he lost the 2020 election and snapped, desperately trying to hold on to power. Now he's running again, this time threatening to be a dictator, to terminate the Constitution.
If I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Trump wants revenge, and he'll stop at nothing to get it.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Celebrate Memorial Day at Brothers Maine, where unbeatable appliance deals come with expert advice. Enjoy special prices and free delivery on top brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Steinhoffel's Memorial Day mattress sale is on now. Get a Beauty Rest Queen mattress for only $399. Save up to $1,200 on Beauty Rest adjustable base sets. Upgrade your sleep to the Beauty Rest Black for $50 per month, plus get $300 Steinhoffel's cash and a $100 rewards card. You'll rest easy when you use Steinhoffel's 60-month financing. Steinhoffel's, your mattress destination. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
What's at the top of your home improvement list? Did you say better home insulation? Because better insulation makes everything you do in your home better. Even just walking in the front door on a hot day. So get ready for summer now with USA Premium Foam. It keeps the hot air out, the cool air in, and your electric bills lower. Call now for $1,200 off whole home insulation plus a $1,200 tax credit. But that ends May 31st.
USA Insulation.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, mold spores, pollen, and dirt are being sucked into your air ducts. Get cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
A cybercriminal group known as Shiny Hunters claims it has stolen the personal data of 560 million Ticketmaster customers and is threatening to sell it for $500,000, though it remains to be seen if the threat is real. The ticketing site has not yet confirmed the breach. Experts warn this could put Ticketmaster users at risk for other scammers. Medical equipment company Medline Industries is recalling more than 1 million portable adult bed rails after the deaths of 2 elderly women in care facilities. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says users can become trapped within the rails or between the rails and the mattress and suffocate. Consumers are urged to stop using the bed rails immediately and contact Medline for a full refund. And just in time for the summer travel season, Alaska Airlines is offering one lucky main cabin flyer a free upgrade to premium class every day this summer. The offer starts on June 1st. Dubbed Upgrade Unlocked, the air carrier will notify the selected customer on the app or by email. The promotion ends September 2nd. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
12:13. Let's take a look at the stock report at this hour. The Dow Jones up 141, NASDAQ down 229, S&P 500 is down 35. And our call for action volunteers are in the building at this hour, taking your consumer complaints and then taking action on your behalf. Volunteers are here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime over on channel3000.com/call-for-action. It's 12:13 on your Friday. Up next, we're going to take a look at today's egg prices, plus your full First Warn forecast ahead of the weekend. Then later on Live at 4, the Loper Report gives us a look at what's streaming this weekend.
Shop the Row Furniture Factory Authorized Sale and save up to half off at Dwellings. Sofas, chairs, sectionals, and ottomans. You choose the style and the fabric, all up to 50% off. Dwellings Interior Design and Home Furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Nobody wants to replace the roof. But these days, many roofs are only lasting 10 to 15 years, costing you tens of thousands of dollars. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. RoofMax treatments, started early enough, can extend the life of your roof by 15 years or more. And even if you think your roof is at the end of its life, 90% of the time, RoofMax can extend the life of your roof by 5 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
It's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Paint.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking. It's time you discovered Power Swabs.
The first time I tried it, my husband was so excited. And he said, I can't believe how white your teeth are. From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Call this Memorial Day to receive 50% off.
Shop the Row Furniture Factory Authorized Sale and save up to half off at Dwellings. Sofas, chairs, sectionals, and ottomans. You choose the style and the fabric, all up to 50% off. Dwellings Interior Design and Home Furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Sarah Jakes Roberts is always uplifting.
You are doing exactly what you set out to do because you are a force.
Oh my goodness. Plus so many others who inspire me. Then we surprise some wonderful women.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. The nation's top call for action team is going strong at News 3 Now, with more than 160 cases closed and over $444,000 recovered. If you need help moving forward, call for action only on News 3 Now. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back. Pam Yonke from the Midwest Farm Report out of the radio barn today. She'll be back on Monday, but here's a look at your farm numbers. .17 now, looking ahead. 3 Wisconsin World War II vets will join President Biden next week in Normandy to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Von Collicott, Lawrence Eckstein, and Eugene Krasowski will return to the beaches they once stormed. The 3 vets are among a group of 70 former service members returning to France. It's safe to say they're excited about the honor.
Yeah, when I got the notice that I was selected to go, I cried like a baby.
It doesn't seem possible that I could go back. I probably wouldn't have if they hadn't been for American Airlines.
Well-deserved honor. The trip will include visits to key historical sites, concerts, and special ceremonies to honor the courage and sacrifice of all who served during World War II. Hey, if you want to put your phone away and check out the many parks in Dane County, this weekend's a good time to do it. Dane County and the City of Madison's Parks Divisions are waiving permit requirements this weekend. That means you can access dog parks, the Capital City Bike Trail, mountain bike and equestrian trails, disc golf courses, and much more, all for free. We have the details up on channel3000.com. Hey, there's a chance we might see some rain later today to start off your weekend. Jacob has your first warn forecast.
Yeah, for Saturday, we look like we're going to see quite a bit of rainfall early in the day, but it should be dry later on. And then as we get towards Sunday, we're going to see those temperatures warm up. We'll have high temperatures near 80 for a few days. But then as we get to Monday, we do have an alert date in the forecast. So first, here's a look at the current radar once again. All the rain right now out in Iowa and Minnesota. Some parts of the western portion of our our area may see a few light showers later in the day, but for the most part, we're looking dry for the rest of your Friday. As we get into Saturday, though, we are going to see some light rain develop during the morning hours and expect to see widespread showers throughout the morning into the early afternoon. Could see some pockets of heavy rainfall, but for the most part, we're looking at just some light to moderate showers. And as I mentioned, this could continue into the early afternoon. As we get to the middle afternoon, the rain will be a little bit more scattered. Places to the east will see the most rain at this point, and areas to the west will see the rain end a bit earlier. And as we get into the evening, just some very isolated pop-up showers, maybe a few storms are possible, but most of our area will be dry by then. And then we are expecting dry conditions for the overnight hours Saturday into Sunday. Now, total precipitation will be pretty light for most of our area, only to see about a ½ inch at most. And the further north and west you're located, the less rainfall you will see from this system. And then as we get to Monday, we do have an alert day in the forecast for the possibility of storms that could be strong to severe. Right now, this is for all of southern Wisconsin, especially during the afternoon and evening, but we could see rain throughout the entire day on Monday. So let's take a look at that forecast. Sunday is looking pretty dry, so that's the good news. As we get into Monday, though, we'll see some of those showers and storms move into our area rather early, and they could continue throughout the day. Still a bit unclear where the greatest severe weather risk will be for our area, but it looks like our entire region is expecting the possibility of severe weather, and it could last throughout much of the day, as I talked about. Should clear up by Monday night, but then we have another chance of rain on Tuesday. But overall, we're not expecting a lot of rainfall. Most of our area will struggle to reach a full inch of precipitation over the next week or so. Places off to the west will have the greatest chance of getting to that level. But Monday's severe weather, it will be fairly isolated, so we're not going to see round after round of severe weather like we've had from the severe weather last week. But we could see some severe weather for across our area nonetheless. But we aren't expecting very heavy rainfall as we've seen over the last couple of weeks. So here's a look at the full 7 to 10 day forecast. Highs will be near 80 from Sunday through Wednesday, back in the 70s for the end of next week. And we do have a few chances of storms. And typically this time of year, when you get beyond, 7 days, there's a good chance that there's a possibility of a storm each and every day, simply because this is the rainiest time of the year. That's why you see so many days with a small possibility of some thunderstorms. So outside of Saturday morning, the weekend is looking pretty calm. Once the rain clears out Saturday in the late morning, early afternoon hours, the rest of the weekend should be dry and fairly warm, especially on Sunday. But the 80s aren't going to last forever, and as we get to the end of the 10-day forecast, we may start to see some temperatures below average, and by then, we're in the middle of June, so we're basically getting into the heart of summer. I know technically summer starts at the end of June, but meteorologically, it starts June 1st.
Hey, I got tunnel vision for that weekend forecast there, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very nice for those of you who like the warm temperatures, but for me, I like the temperatures yesterday and Wednesday, but I'll take lower 80s. That's okay.
All right, Jacob, thank you very much. It is 12:22 now. Let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Since most of us are creatures of habit when it comes to dinner, we often fall into the rut of serving the same few things over and over. So to help us shake off the, oh no, not that again blues, we have a flavor-packed pork dish that originated in Havana, Cuba, and is anything but boring. We start off by cutting a boneless pork butt or shoulder into cubes. It should be well marbled, which means it'll have a ton of flavor. We marinate this in some bottled mojo, and just in case you're not familiar with it, mojo is a sauce that's great for marinating or serving as a condiment. It's a blend of sour oranges, olive oil, garlic, oregano, salt, and pepper. After this marinates in the fridge for at least 6 hours or even overnight, we sear it in a hot skillet. Once it's cooked through and the edges are crispy, we serve it over rice, top it with some chopped cilantro and a squeeze of fresh lime. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our Havana pork, so you can have the taste of Havana without getting out your passport. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a new and flavorful way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Yum. Told you, tasty.